Hi everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We're doing a house call today on a beached whale 2009 Mercedes ML500 or 550 with the V8, and you can hear stuff is going on under the hood, and the owner tells me that a few months ago it just stalled out on her and it restarted and it's gotten worse and worse, and now it's not drivable. So let's scan it for codes. I already looked at it last week. I think I know what's going on. Yep, that's what's going on. And we'll see if we can get it back on the road. So full code scan, and what do we notice? See a lot of red modules, but look, ECM is offline. What do the other modules say? No CAN messages received from engine management. So this ECM, like a lot of these Mercedes do, lives right on top of the engine, gets cooked, and you know, this car is 15 years old. Can't even talk to it right now, but last time I could talk to it. And when you can, then sometimes you can get in here. There we go. Read fault code. Oh, no comma again. And it kicks you out. So it had a whole bunch of misfire codes stored and oxygen sensor codes that you could not clear. You would say clear codes, rescan it, it would come right back. How could you set a misfire code if the car's not even running? Exactly. Under the hood, throttle body's going nuts, the fan's going on and off. So not a power ground issue. This is a computer failure. So diagnosis is actually pretty straightforward. Not much else it can be. So the customer went on eBay and bought a used module, same exact part number. Now our job is to get this thing in the car, make sure it runs. How do we do that? There are a few tricks. You know, the Immobilizer programming. So we're going to be using the Launch X431 Pad 5. This can do online programming. This can do Immobilizer stuff. So we'll see if it works out. So in about 30 seconds you can peel off all the plastic stuff, and here's the engine computer. They made it very easy to get to and replace, probably because they knew it was going to fail. So the fan is unplugged. We don't want any voltage spikes or anything. We have the Tornado 90,000 set at 13.5 volts. So first thing I'm going to try to do is plug in the replacement computer and see if the Launch can program it and sync it without virginizing it. So virginizing means if you go to the dealer and you buy one of these, it's going to be a virgin module, not, you know, it might be programmed like a base programming, but not coded, not set to the immobilizer of this car. If this is a used module, then it was already in a car, has a VIN stored, and to delete the VIN, if the Launch can't do it, we're going to have to hook up an Immobilizer specific tool on the bench and do it that way. eBay ECM is installed. Let's scan it for codes and try to get this thing synced up. Okay, so first thing, we're going to turn the key on. If we crank it, obviously no crank. So let's go to Mercedes. Okay. I want to log back in and see what VIN it reads. We'll take pictures of everything, and we do need a good hotspot. Make sure we have all the bars, so that's good. Basically take pictures of everything just in case we need to backtrack. Alright, let's do automatically search. So that VIN right there is from the donor ECU. So we want to say no and type in the correct ECU. I'm going to take a picture of this first. Okay, so this VIN is incorrect. That's the actual VIN of the vehicle. So if we hit no, we can manually input the VIN. Let me do that. Okay, so I made sure that we input the correct VIN. So now that is correct. Yep, it is the ML550 4MATIC. Switch ignition on, and let's do a smart scan and save this report. So we'll have a baseline, and then we'll go from there. By the way, right off the bat, you can see ECM is online and it's talking, so we're already on the right track. Alright, so our code scan is complete. Let's clear all of the DTCs right now. And then we're going to go to control module programming and program this thing as a used module. So we've done this process before once on the Thanksgiving beached whale Mercedes AMG, the E63 I think. So hopefully this one goes just as smoothly, but you never know. Alright, so we have a mostly green tree. The ESP, it still says no CAN message received from the ECM. Sometimes you have to go in there and do it, in that module specifically. And then this reversible emergency tensioning retractor says code body version is probably wrong. It's not even sure itself. So let's go into control module programming. That's the correct VIN. And we want to do engine control module, switch on ignition. And all these options here. So control unit programming. We want to do automatic. To reprogram and upgrade the existing ECU, select this option. Have a button that states yes. To program and upgrade a new ECU, select this option. Have a button that states no. Okay, so be careful. We have an existing ECU, select this option, yes. So we want to reprogram and upgrade an existing ECU. So yes. Connecting diagnostic unit to network. So it's backing up the existing whatever files or calibration. Okay. Record of coding data in a file. So this is, we'll do 09 ML550 eBay ECM. Okay. Operation succeeded. The ECU is in active not erased status. If the ECU is not the original ECU, even if the ECU coding and programming are completed, ECU may not be activated. Do you want to continue the operation? Click OK or continue to cancel to return. So this right here is interesting. This is what the videos that I watched last night when I was doing my homework. You need to virginize this ECU. So it's saying it's in non-erased status. If the ECU is not the original ECU, even if the ECU coding and programming are completed, ECU may not be activated. Do you want to continue? So no, we don't. We have to virginize this ECM. And how do we do that? Well, let's get some more tools. Alright, like I said, we got more toys out. What are we doing? So we're using this Kingbolen Immobilizer programmer. So this is a launch-based tool which plays nicely with the Launchpad 5. I just want to stick with one scanner for everything in this video. But you could use the Kingbolen K8 Immo tool. That's this thing is shipped with it. But what do we want to do? So we want to virginize this engine computer. How do we do that? Well, so from the home menu, if you go to other modules and toolbox, Immo Programmer. So we'll enter here, and it'll show you how to connect your tool. So this is the Immobilizer Programmer. That's the VCI dongle. This is an adapter, and that you need a 12-volt source. So you can see I have a wire coming in from the battery, 12 volts and ground. Now the charger is set at 13.5. We want 13.5 for the whole process. That's absolutely key. You don't want to drop below 12.5 probably, but 13.5 is a good safe voltage. So that power is coming in through an adapter and going into here. That goes into this adapter, and that connects the VCI box to our immobilizer tool. And then this VCI box can talk to the scanner either via Wi-Fi or a dedicated USB cable, and this is more reliable, so I just hooked it up since we have it. And what's the next step? So we connected that. You have to be on the internet, on the network, and what do we want to do? So an engine, we have a Bosch ECM, and it's the ME 9.7. We can see right here, ME 9.7. So actually, instead of this, let's exit out of here. Let's go straight into Mercedes and do it that way. So again, this is my first time doing a Mercedes used module virginization, if you want to call it. And I did a little bit of homework, but I'm just trying to remember the correct steps. Okay, so in the Mercedes menu, this is where we were before. Anti-theft function. Yes, we're connected to the network. It'll have to download some files, and it has two pictures here. You can either connect it to the car or just to the immobilizer tool. So okay. And what do we want to do? We want to do ECU erasing. We want to erase the engine control module, virginize it. So let's click on that. Engine control unit. And here we can read data, load data, completely erase module. But how do we connect it to the ECU? You see this cable here? It has a whole bunch of leads. We need to connect this with special pins to the correct pins on the ECM. So I know the Autel IM608 can do this. It actually has more features like bright VIN, but we'll see if we can do it with the launch here. So we'll select our ECM, so ME 9.7. It'll download the correct schematic, and here's how we want to hook it up. So there's 10 pins or cables on this breakout right here. They're labeled. So pin 1 is going to be red, that's the battery positive. Pin 10 is the ground, and the other ones. So we want to connect pin 2, this big one, to ground. Pin 1 and 8 are 12 volts, and then 6 and 9, those will be the communication wires. So let me hook that up and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins we need to connect, and we have all these adapters. And they're labeled A, which is like a fatter terminal, B, C, it's a round terminal, D is right here, and E is the smallest one, like that. So what fits is a B on the ground pin, and 4 of the E terminals on the communication wires and the 2 power wires. So let's tie these all together, connect it to here just like it says. We're going to use pins, wires 1, 8, 6, 9, and 10. Alright, here we go. It's all hooked up, everything's correct, everything's powered on. So let's try read module data. Let's see if it even works. See if this computer talks. Okay, very cool. So we have the VIN. This is for the donor computer. It says initialized, personalized, activated, key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to take some pictures here of all this data, and then we're going to try Erase ECU. So when you click OK, it asks, do you want to back up module data? Sure, why not? So this is, let me type in the file name. Okay, and it says backup succeeded. Let's go for it. Completely erase module. Does not support operating a vehicle. Please remove module and perform on the platform. Yes. Here we go. So it came up with this screen. That's what the screen we just saw. We'll click OK. Calculate and erase password. Please wait. You want to back up module data? We already did. You want to erase module? Here we go. Yes. Alright, so it says personalized and activated, both no. And all the keys are still in there, so okay. So apparently that was it. Let's read module data one more time. So I guess it didn't erase the keys or the VIN. But hopefully when we do the programming and SC encoding, everything will align and this thing will be happy. Okay, so that's the final readout of the data. Now let's plug the scan tool, the VCI, back into the car, plug the computer back into the car, and do the module programming. I think that's what we have to do. We can't just do it on the bench here. Alright, computer's plugged in. Got my VCI box right here. We're still going to use the cable because we don't want to take any chances on Wi-Fi messing up the programming. So Mercedes Benz, okay, and it'll probably read, you know, the donor VIN again, so we'll have to put that in manually, and hopefully it'll let us do the module programming. Okay, so should we just do control module programming or automatically search? Doesn't really matter. So we'll click no. Let me put that in. Uh-oh, it's starting to rain here. Control module programming. Yes, that's the correct VIN. ECM. Turn on ignition. Put our hotspot right here. Control unit programming. Automatic. So it is an existing ECU, so we'll click yes. Okay. Recording of coding in a data file. 09 ML 550, and we'll say eBay. Okay. Here we go. So it's letting us in. That's good. And we unplug the fan. We have a charger. Okay. Alright, here we go. So new control unit software versions. That. Perform programming. Yes. Yes. Ignition is on. Nothing to lose. Alright, here we go. It's going. 7 minutes left. Uh-oh. Are we stuck? It just said Bluetooth connection succeeded, Ethernet connection succeeded, and we're stuck at 7 minutes and 7 seconds at 11%. It's been a few minutes, not moving. If it doesn't move in another few minutes, we're going to have to try to restart, but not looking promising. Yeah, I really don't like this. Just stuck. What if we hit back? Processing, please wait. I don't know. Should we end the session? Key off. Let it go to sleep. Key on. Let's try to log back in. Alright, so we're going to try to do this over Wi-Fi. I disconnected the USB cable. Let's see if it can still read the VIN. Oh look, the correct VIN came up. Yes. Okay. Switch on ignition. Okay. Let's see what the ECM thinks. Is not programmed. Control unit program must be performed again. Okay, very good. So at least, you know, it's not dead. So let me take a picture of this, and then we'll try to do the programming again. Okay, control unit programming, automatic. So existing ECU, I guess it's an existing ECU. It's on the network. Try to eBay 09 ML550. Okay. All right. All right, so it says current software and new software. Okay. Yes. Ignition is on. So it needs to get through this programming to be able to work. Well, that's promising. Made it to 13%. We got 7 minutes left. Let's see if it goes all the way. Alright, we're still counting down, 43%. You can see the data transfer rate up here and the battery voltage. Make sure that your maintainer is always on. 13.5 volts. 4 minutes left. Kind of taking a long pause here at 90. Oh, okay, there it goes. Come on, 30 seconds left. 95%. And I just touched the screen for good luck so it doesn't fall asleep. It shouldn't. 97. 98. 99. Getting a result, please wait. The owner will be thrilled. She's been without her Mercedes for over 2 months now. Switch off ignition. Okay, wait 10 seconds. Switch on ignition. Okay. Control module reset, please wait. Completed successfully. Fantastic. Now we need to do SEM coding sequence has been completed successfully. Really? Switch off ignition. Okay. Gotta wait 10 more seconds. Switch on ignition. You heard the fuel pump run, that's a good sign. Control module reset. Are you sure you want to clear fault memory? Yes. Switch off ignition. Okay. 10 more seconds. Switch on ignition. Okay. Fault memory completed. No DTCs. If error occurs, execute a driving authorization or initialization function. Okay. And walk us through that. Let's see if it fires up. So we still need to do so in the ECM there should be a special function that says drive authorization. That will kind of set the immobilizer, sync the module to the rest of the car. Special function, learning process. So fuel pump's activated. So this is teach-in of drive authorization system. Yes, we want to activate detach transport protection, personalize and activate. Okay. See, it says yes, yes, no, no. Okay. VIN stored in the control module. Let's triple check that. Let's see here. 4JGBB72 Edward 49 Apple 493057. So we want to press F3. Yes. Please start the engine. Oh no. Can't start the engine. Crap. Switch off the ignition. Now it's a no crank. I knew we were going to hit a roadblock. Oh, thank goodness. Crazy stuff. So it did it. You couldn't start the engine during the process, but once you exit it out, seems to be happy. Seems to be very happy. So we'll just let it run. Auxiliary battery malfunction. Don't care about that. So let's let it run, warm up a little bit, and then disconnect all our stuff, put the airbox back on, take this thing for a drive. So just scanned it for codes. We have the, oh yeah, the fan is unplugged obviously, and then this constant adjustment of intake camshaft of left cylinder bank in direction advance P0018. We might have to teach in the camshaft positions. So under special function, learning process, like after engine replacement, I think. Ignition on, engine not running. Okay. Adaptations of the reference position of the camshaft is activated. Start process. F3. does that. Start engine and run at idling speed. Okay, process running. Now this car may have other issues, but you know, this was the main issue, is it was just going nuts and not running, stalling out. So I think these computers fail pretty often on the V8s, the ones that live on top of the engine. So this is a very good skill and process to know and have the tools to be able to do it, because what's the other option? If you go to the dealer, adaptation of camshaft not performed, they're gonna tell you, A, you have to buy a new computer if it's available, and B, you have to take it to them to program it. So okay, we got the 0018. Further diagnostics might be required, but let's wrap everything up, take this thing for a spin. Alright, everything's put back together. Everything works. Turn the lights on. Take this baby for a spin. Monitor some live data. Make sure it's charging. Yep, 14 volts. Read fault code. So just a P0018. I plugged the fan back in. Let's take it for a spin. Alright, so it drives fine. Shut it off. Wait 10 seconds. I want to see if the check engine light comes right up. Seems to have plenty of power. There's the check engine light. It drives great. So another separate issue, but mostly on the road. I think the customer will be very pleased about that. And if there's any follow-up diagnostics, we'll do that later. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.